All right, folks, let's talk politics and the implications of it on your portfolio. PIMCO's head of public policy is with us, Libby Cantrill. Oh, boy. First of all, they always kind of feel, these midterms always kind of feel like, maybe first term, midterms a little bit more, but this feels like so indifferent. The electorate feels like the folks out there, I haven't seen any excitement from anywhere out there except maybe little tiny niches.
Yeah, I think that's right, Charles. I mean, we are looking at a very disaffected electorate. We were just talking about this. There's this one indicator they call the double haters. Basically, people who really kind of dislike both parties.
Hawks on both houses.
That is at an all-time high. Pew Research puts this poll together, longitudinal. They said a quarter of the electorate basically doesn't like either party. Now, when kind of push comes to shove, those double haters may have to vote for Republicans or Democrats. But in general, we're just seeing an electorate that's sort of, they're apathetic, they're mad. And I think that is actually this anger towards the political class, Democrats and Republicans, will probably have some follow through for 2020.
Well, that's been happening for a long time, right? The sort of the anti-establishment. And by the way, it feels like it's an international thing, too. You see it particularly in Europe. Look at the big flip in South America. All of these countries that have been socialist or socialist leaning, election after election after election. So it feels like around the world there's this dissatisfaction with the people who have been in charge of either particular party. But there is that niche I sort of alluded to, like the socialists, the DSA. They feel like they got a wind in themselves. I'm not sure what that means for the midterms, but. And the Democrats are grappling with this.
They are grappling with this, and there's sort of a fight for the soul of the Democratic Party, the future of the Democratic Party. It may not have really significant implications for the midterms, but again, probably will have implications for 2028. But I do think you bring up a good point, is that there's sort of this populism, this sort of anti-incumbent angst. And what does that mean from a policy perspective? I think our view is it probably means more spending. And we've been sort of saying this for a while, that the deficit is kind of the biggest loser of the political environment, because both sides, in order to sort of assuage these angry voters, are just willing to spend more. So, higher deficits, probably think steeper yield curves and what have you.
Yeah. By the way, I'm a registered independent from day one, since 18. So I started the movement, folks. I want credit when we start.
Well, and sorry if I started to interrupt you, but so these double haters, but also we're seeing the highest proportion of those folks who actually identify as independents. Again, this is a Gallup poll. 46% of Americans actually identify as independents. So Charles, you led this.
I started.
The plurality of Americans actually have, more of an identification to the sort of the center.
So the issues, one issue that's sort of flummoxing, well, that's not how you pronounce the word, but bothersome.
Absolutely, yes.
The markets are on again, off again with Iran.
Yeah.
Oil prices went at one point to maybe 120, pulled back. It looked like we were on our way, hit 68.
Yeah.
I know that would have been phenomenal for Republicans, getting gasoline prices with a 3 handle on them going into the midterms. How much of an impact could that have? How much of it could actually, because we're talking razor thin margins either way, right?
Razor thin margins, and I think that is actually probably for the market is sort of like the big upshot, that regardless of who controls the House or the Senate, it is going to be by a razor-thin margin. And that will actually really impact their ability to govern, get things through, and affect the economy and affect markets. I mean, obviously, this is not necessarily what Republicans want, right? Republicans on the Hill want to be talking about the one big beautiful bill. Right. They want to be talking about the housing bill that just became law. Those are the things that they feel that their voters care about, that they want to be emphasizing. And instead, they are a little bit on their back foot around gas. Now, it is still early, as you point out, right? And there's sort of all these twists and turns and what have you. But if you look at just the average refund that's coming from the one big beautiful bill, about $600 per family, that definitely does get eroded by higher gas prices. And does that mean that Republicans are going to start voting for Democrats? No. But does that mean that some folks who again are sort of disaffected, mad about affordability, they may just not show up for the midterms, potentially?
It's enthusiasm really that matters more than anything else. Who will actually, the polls are irrelevant if people aren't enthusiastic to go. And right now, are they voting for or against something?
Well, and I think that's exactly right. I think that, if you look at the sort of the two big indicators that have been predictive, at least historically, in terms of midterm or election outcomes, one is the generic ballot. Sort of this general view of one party over another. Right now, Democrats have a slight advantage over Republicans. However, if you do look at that enthusiasm gap, how sort of psyched are people to go vote? Democrats are much more enthusiastic than Republicans. And I think the way you sort of square the circle is that people don't really love the Democratic Party, but they do have sort of this, visceral view about President Trump, so maybe more kind of opposing him. But again, that's not necessarily something you can really hang your hat on if you're a Democrat hoping to take back the House, hoping to take back the Senate. We, by the way, don't think that they'll take back the Senate. And as a result, you sort of may have this kind of muddled outcome, a split Congress, sort of a narrow majority in the House for Dems, but still a Republican Senate.
Before I let you go, the Clarity Act, Bitcoin has come down a lot. The stable coin was making a big move, just the implications of crypto. Also, though, the implications is if it's DOA, then the establishment won again, that the banks got in there and they used their power and their might to buy off votes. And that pisses a lot of people off, particularly young people.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more, but yes, the banks and their lobbying efforts definitely
the narrative will be that.
Yes, that's true. I think that a lot, actually, the bigger holdup to get 60 votes, right? So remember, some things can pass the Senate with 50 votes. Republicans have 53 votes right now, but a lot lot of things still need those 60 votes. This needs 60 votes. You need at least.
They get it? Because I saw yesterday a headline that they've got 10 Dems.
Probably, yeah. I don't think that's right. I push back against that. I think a lot of this has to do around the ethics provision that the White House has sort of agreed to or what have you. I think they think that's insufficient for the Democrats. So I think the bottom line here is, regardless of who maybe is to blame or responsible for it, it does look like it's going to be an uphill battle. I don't think it will get passed in regular session. I don't think it gets passed actually in the lame duck either. So that means sort of the next Congress, another kind of bite at the apple.
That's heartbreaking for a lot of people that I know, young investors who thought that they had an avenue and something they could feel good about and trust in. Well, great stuff, Libby.
So nice to see you. Thank you so much, Charles. Appreciate it. Thank you.